Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I just want to talk about something that happened, I think it was last week, or the week before. No, yeah, it was last week, sorry. Where League of Legends, or Saudi Arabia, or the Esports Foundation, I think they're called, the Esports Foundation, they run the Esports World Cup. They are running a tournament in November after EWC. So EWC's coming up in July. But in November, at the end of the league season, they are going to be running a Esports Nations Cup. Well, not just in League of Legends, but Valorant's there, PUBG Mobile, PUBG, Dota 2, Trackmania. Did I say Valorant? I think I did, right. Heaps of other games, Rainbow Six Siege, um, almost a, almost a lot of the big titles, except for Overwatch, and uh, that's the main one that's probably not going to be there that I can think of. So it's going to be quite a cool tournament. You know, you get to cheer on your nation, see how they stack against some of the best nations like China, Chinese Taipei, Korea, USA, Canada. But anyway, so last week they had the some qualifiers. So if we look at, hold on, let me just. So if we pull this up, this is the Leaguepedia page. Now, these are the teams that got invited: China, South Korea, France, Vietnam, Brazil, United States, Chinese Taipei, Denmark, Turkey, Greece, Poland, Argentina, Spain, Canada, Sweden, and Czechia. So let's look at some of these rosters, right? You've got Bin, Flandre, Tian, Monkey, Knight, Jackie Love, and On, coached by Bigway and Poppy. You've got Zeus, Canyon, Faker, Zeka, Guma, Yusi, and Keria for South Korea. You've got Adam, Skewmon, Shayo, Nuke, Callist, Hansama, and Zolis for France. Kaya, Hitzos, SOFM, Dyer, Ares, Eddie, and Taki for Vietnam. Big Dokes, Blabber, Griffin, Appa, Darkwings, Yun, and Huhi for the USA. Canada, you've got Jojo Pyun, Masu, Vulcan as the bot side. You've got Zamudo and either Kyra or Shiden in the top side. So, you know, this is going to be a really sick tournament. I've been wanting for a nations, like a Esports Olympics Nations Cup for a very long time. Because I think it's cool that esports players should be able to represent their country. You see it in football or in or if you're from New Zealand, you see it in rugby. Every young kid that is playing rugby at a grassroots level wants to dreams of becoming an All Black when they're older. Not so much these days because there's so many sports you can represent New Zealand in at the moment. In the current day and age, if you're a football player, you want to play for the All Whites in New Zealand. If you're a basketball player in New Zealand, you want to represent the Tall Blacks and play on the world stage, go to the Olympics. If you're a if you do an individual sport, you want to go to the Olympics and represent New Zealand. That is the pinnacle of your sport. Is to represent your country and wear the black and white. Um, and it's the same for uh other nations, right? um, if you're in England, you want to play for the Three Lions, the football team, and go try win a World Cup, right? Because that's what every English footballer dreams of. It's probably the same in Spain. Um, so yeah. Um, Anyway, so I was, yeah, getting onto it. I was going to talk about the East Asia qualifiers, and I want to talk about my country, New Zealand, who qualified as the first seed basically out of the tournament. So yeah, we played Brunei in our first match, and um, what a game that was. What's the website? Let's see if I can find it. Um, mm, okay, it's on there. But anyway, so our first game was against Brunei. We won that 1-0, and it was a pretty decent game. Um, Actually, I think it was a stomp, but yeah, there's not much really see from it. Because these were done privately. I know Toad Amarillo was streaming the early games, and then the qualification match was streamed on ENC's YouTube channel. um, but yeah, New Zealand played. Or actually, let's talk about the New Zealand team. Chippies, Why Not Shock, Rays, and Lost. Lost has played over in NA for a few years. Well, he hasn't been playing over there since 2023, but he's been playing there ever since 2017, basically. He was on Echo Fox Academy, got promoted to Echo Fox in July 2018, and then he bounced around between Echo Fox and Fox Academy. Then he went to TSM Academy, did pretty well on there. He then went to he then got called up to the main TSM roster. Then he went to Golden Guardians. That Golden Guardians roster, from memory, was Licorice, Pride Stalker, Ablaze Olive, Lost, and Ola. Lost was actually playing AD carry. He played support for ENC, which is interesting. We had Raze. Raze has been over in NA. He was playing on Immortals. And then he came back to the LOC and played on Chiefs and Antic Esports. So, he's got that experience of playing in America. Then we had Why Not, who played in the LCP last year on Chiefs Esports. Doesn't really have much experience overseas. He's mainly been in OCE for most of his career, actually for all of his career. But he's a good jungler coming from New Zealand. Probably was a really was one of the best junglers in OCE. So when the LOC was around. Then we had Chippies in the top lane. He played on Maryville University for 10 months, so he did have a bit of experience playing over in NA. Not a lot, he just mainly bounced around OCE teams though, from Direwolves, Mammoth, Avant Gaming, back to Direwolves, and then onto Pentanet, so didn't really do much, I just bounced around Oceania teams. And then we had Shock in the mid lane, who bounced around Oceania teams for quite a while. Didn't really adventure overseas, but he's a great mid laner. Go watch some of his YouTube streams. Shock lol. He's pretty educational. If you're a mid lane player, so go watch him. Shout out to Shock. But yeah, I just want to talk about the EWC, the ENC, not the EWC. EWC's coming up next month, so, or after MSI actually. MSI is going on right now as I record this video, so, yeah, if you guys want to, if you guys have a team in the Esports Nation Cup that has been either directly qualified or, directly invited, or qualified directly, is what I was trying to say. Give this tournament a watch in June. I know it's in Saudi and it's run by Saudi, and I'm not a big fan of it, but ever since they announced this tournament, I was so hyped. But yes, the downside is that it has been run by Saudi, and I'm not the biggest fan of Saudi because of their human rights record. But that's a political thing that I don't really want to get involved. You can agree with me if you want. I know a lot of people do agree that their way of sports washing, they're trying to bring all these big sports to Saudi Arabia to clear their name, like boxing. I know a lot of boxing fans are kind of happy that they're involved with boxing because they're changing it, but they're also kind of a bit disappointed because they're using boxing to try clear their name, just like they're doing with esports, just like they're doing with other sports like F1. F1's a main one I can think of. If there's any, football as well. Football and F1 are the main sports, and boxing that I can think of. But WWE are having WrestleMania in Saudi Riyadh next year, which, as a wrestling fan, is disappointing for me. It's going to be the first WrestleMania outside of North America. Going to be in Saudi Arabia, which it should have been London, or maybe not Japan, because Japan has Wrestle Kingdom. But anyway, I won't go into wrestling because it's about. But yes, anyway, if you guys are hyped for ENC, please leave a like. I'm going to co-stream the event, or just watch the games on stream after the event's been held. I might try and get co-streaming rights because, I'm really hyped for this tournament, and I want to see my country do well. My country being New Zealand. Ay! Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.